Welcome Diecast fans, I'm Tom Spanners-Watson.
And I'm Frank the Guru Gibbs.
Welcome to this week's DSPN. Now this is going to be a slightly shorter than normal show because we are on the road. Right, first up, congratulations to Widowmaker Run for taking out this week's thumbnail competition with this stunning bright green 8 crate. And thanks to everybody else that's entered. Next week's vehicle will be a custom pickup truck of your choice. Alright, in the news this week, there's a mail-in race at WeRaceDiecast. Head over to their Facebook page and their channel for all the details on that one. Trax Real Riders drag racing is on today. And the Bone Shaker Brawl over at BlueLine Racing on the 30th of October. Get into that one.
Right, moving into drag racing, over at Rust Belt Racing, they had a new track. It's a little bit different to a straight drag race, but that was a lot of fun with those micro cars.
Then BlueLine Racing did a rip and roll series of drag races, which was quite cool. Some really cool close races, and I'm quite enjoying their track. They've got a fantastic transition after the drop, so there's no whomp.
Then Red Pill Racing did a special race series for cars that were sent to them by some of their viewers. Have a look at that one.
Moving into tournaments tonight. First up was round 3 of the DIRS at Jackson Pass. So this is the series that we've been in with RTR Diecast Racing League, Flat Rabbit and Jackson Pass. And apart from us having a few good wins, there was some awesome racing, and Mike Mays there going completely off the side of the track and wiping out a lot of the pit crews. Have a look at the video. Jackson Pass did a great job. There was some awesome overtakes in there and some quite exciting racing.
And speaking of RTR, Mike started his exotic series last week and he's into the quarterfinals at the moment. And this was Philip the Tank just absolutely cleaning up with a beautiful run in that Bugatti Veyron. He's a very, very quick car, and I would say he's got to be the top pick to take it out at this point.
Then we head over to Transport Diecast Racing, where he continued on with the qualifying rounds of his Miatas at the Crest. So again, I think this is the last round of qualifying. There may be one more after this, and then he's into the full-on racing.
Then over at Sub 4RA, he has the Liquid Rush series, and on this course it's called the Paperclip, probably because of the shape of it, where it hooks around onto itself. Now this is lanes most of the way, but then the very last run to the finish line is a fat track, which is quite cool.
And Cleveland City Diecast Racing continues on with his Ford versus Ferrari competition. And this particular race here, you see the Ferrari just get loose going into the corkscrew and flipping out, even though he was actually building up quite a lead. You see it about here, just clips the inside of the corkscrew, flips over, and then the Mustang manages to get around the outside and take the win.
Into street racing, 3D Botmaker was carrying on with King of the Mountain, and this was one of the most surprising races that we've seen on Race Mountain so far. In fact, I haven't seen this particular thing ever happen before. This dude's coming down in first place and smacks into a car that was behind him. You see on this angle here, he gets nailed by these other cars. He doesn't just land in the grass where everybody else has. He actually bounces onto the track in front of the leader. The leader hits him hard and still manages to finish. It was just amazing.
And then DRC continues on with his quarterfinals in the yard race. And I don't know why, but that truck just came to almost a complete stop. It was like he waited to see where his opponent was and then ended up losing.
Diecast RacerX continues on with his timed runs with this rally course, and I just love this course. It's fast, and I love the bit of drifting that Subaru does there. It was quite cool, and this thing is really quick on this course too.
Then War on I-4 is running another tournament, and we quite enjoyed this race here. There was a lot of back and forth with who was going to take it out, and this truck I was sure was just going to roll over and that'd be it, but he actually did quite well.
Moving into special events, we kick off with Big Poppy, and the continuation of the Diecast games, and this is a fat track free-for-all. So I think this is a new competition for this year. I don't think this was in last year's, and it's quite cool. There's a combination of traditional like scissors fat track and also the crash races. So there's some very cool racing on there.
Hotwheels Boys in New Zealand put the green Falcon up against the Chevy Bel Air in a range of different races. So they started with a straight up drag race and then the drag race to fat track. That was quite entertaining, and I just absolutely love that Falcon casting. It's very cool.
And speaking of cool, mate, Beaverworx continued on with his rock jump, and this thing is just brilliant. It's such a short drop, but some of these cars get great air, and he even had a real rider in this competition. It was quite cool to watch.
And of course, we had the Looney Moonies third event. This was an all Toyota race. We just got this clip here of the Hiluxes. And you see there, the two white Hiluxes just getting absolutely loose coming into the corner, but the grey Hilux handled that course like a dream and just ran away with it. And then there was the Hi-Ace vans. Not something you see racing a lot of. And bit of dirty play by the white van there, actually pushing that grey van into the other person's lane and blocking them out.
Now, in Frank's Custom Corner this week, it's a little bit different. Live Young Diecast did a behind the scenes thank you to their subscribers, and we really enjoy seeing these behind the scenes videos where you see a little bit more about their tracks, what they're doing, and he's got a new track that he'll be launching soon that's well worth a watch.
Now, stunt or crash of the week this week goes to DRC for this one. Now look at this, the Mini comes over, hits the pole, and then the truck jumps him and just clears the Mini. It was just really impressive considering it was completely unplanned. All right, like we said, this is only a short show this week. We are on the road, so we're just trying to do this so that you don't miss out entirely. We hope you've enjoyed it. Reminder that next week the photo competition is for a modified pickup truck. If you're interested in doing that, it can be a truck that you modified previously, but it just must be a new photo. All the details are over at chaoscanyon.online. All right, thanks very much for watching. I'm Tom Spanners Watson, he's Frank the Guru Gibbs, and we'll be back to normal next week.